Pit Fight Commentary number 378, Qedrian. I don't know how the fuck you pronounce his name, but obviously you can see his name in the goddamn title. Has sent in some UFC, and this was, I think, his second attempt or whatever. He didn't know what the fuck he was doing. You know what ended up happening? And I know that there was questions. Jim Bob Leet's video also questioned this. He was like, well, I don't understand. This guy, you know, Qedrian or whatever the hell, he sent in his video before I did, and I got ahead of him. I was like, yeah, because he deleted his link. I think someone told him, what the fuck? Why would you get up in that kind of position? He got up in a position as if he was ready to start taking an ass whooping. You saw that shit, man? No, but anyway, I think Qedrian sent in a video, and then people on the website told him, they were like, you know, you can send in a longer video, guys. So he went back, he deleted his original link, and then he reposted it a little bit later. So in theory, Jim Bob Leet had the next available link. He was the next video because Qedrian had deleted his. So I was like, all right, so I'll wait till he reposts his video, and then it'll get posted back in order in this motherfucker. So, yeah, what, are they kissing? Are they having... Come on, man, dude, you gotta, like, bite his ear or some shit, like, do some Mike Tyson in this motherfucker, man. Anyway, I think I've been honest. I think this is... I've seen UFC on my channel before. I know I had a fight night. I definitely know there's been boxing on my channel. I can't remember if there's been UFC. I'm pretty sure there was UFC before, man. But I think I've said this before. I'm not a huge boxing fan. I'm an even less UFC fan. It's just, pugilistic sports have never appealed to me. That's just the bottom line. I prefer sports. I prefer team sports. Individual sports like, you know, tennis and golf. I play golf. I don't want to watch this shit. I'll watch it if it's like nice and close at the end and it's like some exciting finish and shit like that. But other than that, it's like, eh. So, did you just kick that guy in the nuts and he fell over? And you didn't follow up to kick his ass? But my whole thing with UFC and boxing in general, it's run by assholes, and the people who compete are nothing but assholes. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, man. Boxing from top to bottom, rigged, run by assholes. The whole that we have this championship and that championship and that championship is like, oh god, get the fuck out of here with that shit. When it comes to UFC, I can't stand Dana White. I think Dana White is an absolute piece of shit, and I would say that proudly. He was just fucking that guy up. He just like punched him in the face and what? He just he just took that knee to the chin, didn't block it, nothing. He just said, okay, I'll take this knee, and survived. Man, that didn't knock him down, that didn't stun him, didn't daze him, nothing. And this guy just taking punches and beatings to the face. Yeah, you know, I can only imagine how difficult it is to create a video game for UFC because, you know, the fights are much more dynamic than this. So, boxing is not as dynamic as a UFC fight. Boxing, you have to, you know, bob and weave and move back and forth and throw your punches. But in UFC, there's a lot more to it. It's not just punching, obviously. It's you know, takedowns, it's stamina, it's kicks, it's what happens when your opponent hits the floor. How do you ground and pound? You know, when do you go for submission moves? When do you open up to, like right there, the guy kicked. In the meantime, he could have blocked, grabbed his ankle, twisted his ankle or some shit like that. You know, there's all kinds of variations and counters in UFC. But, like I was saying about Dana White, you know, I live here in New York, you guys know that. And UFC we were one of the last states to actually allow it. And the funny commentary that Dana White would always tell people was that New York needs UFC. New York is losing out on the money that UFC would bring in, and every person who looked at the finances was like, what are you smoking, asshole? They're like, do you not know the amount of events that New York City puts on? Now, I can understand if you were talking about, say, Buffalo, Syracuse, Albany, you know, smaller cities in New York, but he was pretending like New York City needs UFC. And I'm like, yeah, no we don't, asshole. Madison Square Garden has tons of events every year. Barclays Center, which is now in Brooklyn, is taking over the events that Madison Square Garden had to turn down because it was just so packed. The combination of the two of them did the financial analysis last year in 2018, and essentially UFC would only be doing less than 1% business growth for both of them. Less than 1%. And it's almost like a 0.5%. That's nothing. That is absolutely nothing. And the amount of money that comes to New York from that is minimal. Because essentially, you're just asking, a sporting event that's being wholly funded by UFC. The money's being kept by UFC. They're not really funding anything into the city for that. And the reality is you could do any other combination of things. You could do concerts. You could do fucking the dog show brings in more money than UFC. That was hilarious when I found that out. Fucking Westminster Dog Show brings in more money than UFC, and Dana White had to position this that New York was missing out on money, and this is why you need to bring UFC to New York. It was like, yeah, no, we're pretty good on money over here. Granted, we could always use some more. I don't mind always having more, but your business doesn't bring shit on top of you being a fucking asshole. You know what I can't stand about him? He's a fake tough guy. And you know how you could always tell this? You ever watch the press conferences, and the first thing Dana White does, first of all, he wants to promote violence, right? That's the name of the sport. The sport is a violent sport, similar to boxing. You have to have a lot of showmanship before the event actually occurs. But when the guys come out to get weighed and all that shit, what is he doing? He's already putting his hands out as if, oh, I'm going to separate these guys. I'm Mr. Tough Guy. I'm going to get in between these guys. And I'm going to make sure that they don't get into a fight. Meanwhile, he loves that kind of shit because it promotes his sport. When you see Conor McGregor acting like an asshole, when you saw Chuck Liddell acting like an asshole, that made him money. He loved that shit. And he pretended to get in the middle of it. Did you just get your ass knocked down? No, I guess you were the other guy. Yeah, I guess that was you. Yeah, because you wouldn't send me a video you were getting your ass beat, would you? I can't imagine that would happen. This is basically like a boxing match. I thought I'd maybe see like a submission or whatever, so now they're going to show what fun. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that's a knockout. Now, you see right here in real life what they would do? They would just jump straight down. Oh, he left himself wide open. Look at that. Yeah. That was just a bad move right there. And you see, here's the thing. In real life, as soon as that guy hits the floor, as soon as his neck snaps back right here, you see right there, they would be on top of him. They would be right on the floor. The referee would get right in between him, but he sat back as if this was a boxing match, because in boxing, as soon as someone hits the floor, you back up. But in UFC, you're supposed to attack. I ain't gonna get into this shit, man. Was kind of short, but whatever. I ain't gonna fuck with that shit, man. So anyway, as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit, and I'll see you guys in the next video.